Yeah, I'll react to that, sure. Hey guys, okay. I was contemplating whether or not to do another video, and I mean, History Matters videos are really short anyway, and they came out with a new one. How did the Orthodox world react to the Protestant Reformation? This kind of fits because I am in the middle of the 30 Years' War series over on Kings and Generals, so that's nice. Let's get into it. Original link at the top of the description below. Right under that is the Discord. We'd love for you to join the Discord and obviously, subscribe, everything like that on YouTube, all the buttons. But yeah, Discord, just click on that. It'll send you right over there. Pull up a chair. Let's go.
The Protestant Reformation was, to put it bluntly, not well received by the Catholic Church. It wasn't long after people like Martin Luther and John Calvin launched their attacks against the Church that Western Europe was bitterly divided over what the correct Christian practices were. But in the East sat the Orthodox Christian world, created from a previous...
Oh, okay. All right. This is interesting. Okay.
But in the East sat the Orthodox Christian world, created from a previous falling out with Rome who must have had their own opinions of what was going on. So
Jesus always has the holes... I'm sorry, I'm pausing this.
From a previous falling out with Rome who must have had...
Jesus always has the holes in his hands. Shouldn't they also be in his feet, too? Jeez. For some reason, these drawings are just so funny to me. All right.
Their own opinions of what was going on. So what were those opinions? How did the Orthodox world react to the Protestant Reformation? So, as of Martin Luther's theses, the primary centre of orthodoxy was Constantinople, which was under the Ottoman Empire and itself oversaw two other major Orthodox centres, Kiev under the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth,
I wasn't sure what he meant by
Moscow,
Orthodox,
run by the Muscovites. And to all of them, their reaction was largely Lithuanian Commonwealth and Moscow, run by the Muscovites. And to all of them, their reaction was largely negative with some caveats. Starting with Constantinople, because the Patriarch there was the highest-ranking person in the Orthodox world, the reaction was largely one of concern. There was no love for Rome in the East, but the Reformation wasn't initially about founding a new church, but about reforming the existing one, which to those in the East just meant that they were still Catholics, just ones getting it all even more wrong, which meant any Christian unity would be much harder. And also, these heresies had a tendency of spreading, which was not something they wanted in their own lands. But, barring these initial thoughts, there wasn't much in the way of formal communication between Orthodox and Protestant Christians
You cannot have your own ideas, damn it.
There wasn't much in the way of formal communication between Orthodox and Protestant Christians for many decades. Whilst the theological realms didn't at first interact all too much, this didn't stop the political ones from doing so. And in Moscow, Tsar Ivan IV, better known as Ivan the Best Dad Ever, had both a severe and optimistic response to Protestantism. For him, this heresy weakened his Catholic neighbours. And previously, such schisms had led to civil war, meaning that for Moscow it presented an opportunity for westward expansion. Personally, though, the tenets of Protestantism disgusted him, and his primary concern was these...
So recap, quick. Going fast here. So, the Eastern Orthodox Church wasn't exactly on great terms with the Catholics in Europe, but they also saw a lot of opportunity and identified more with the Catholics and the Protestants and saw opportunity in gaining land. And so, I don't know if it's a bad situation, just I understand where they're coming from now.
Personally, though, the tenets of Protestantism disgusted him, and his primary concern was these ideas spreading into his realm the same way that they had done in Prussia and Poland-Lithuania. And guess what? They did, leading to several high-profile prosecutions for what was then known as frivolous thinking. So, back to churches talking. There was some optimism in the late 16th century that the Orthodox and Lutheran Church could cooperate, and in the eyes of some, even reunite. And the first step in this was seeing if the doctrines were compatible, and this was done by sending 16th century frivolous thinking. So, back to churches talking. There was some optimism in the late 16th century that the Orthodox and Lutheran Church could cooperate, and in the eyes of some, even reunite. And the first step in this was seeing if the doctrines were compatible, and this was done by sending the translated Augsburg Confession to the Orthodox Church in 1575.
I don't think they're going to be compatible.
This was a list of 21 fundamental pillars of the Protestant faith sent to the Patriarch of Constantinople. This was a list of 21
what we think about God.
Fundamental pillars of the Protestant faith sent to the Patriarch of Constantinople,
and
he was not pleased with them.
Yeah.
He responded that 7 of these creeds were outright heretical, and so good luck in
hell.
And whilst the Orthodox Church agreed with the rest of the articles, Lutherans were doing them wrong. At first, the Orthodox Church tried to push for cooperation with the Protestants, but it won't shock you to know that both sides were pretty firm in their belief.
I just really want to know, like, what what the level of optimism was after, like, okay, maybe we can get along instead of the Eastern Orthodox with the Catholics. Maybe we can get along with the Protestants and the Protestants with the Eastern Orthodox. Like, when they were writing him and sending him over, like, were they like, oh, I'm sure we can have a great time. Like, here's our opinions on God and Jesus and everything. And I don't see how they could have been optimistic at all. Sorry, guys. The internet went out. There was like a power surge. So, all right. We were at 229.
The Protestant Reformation was, to put it bluntly, of Constantinople, and he was not pleased with them.
Okay.
He responded that 7 of these creeds were outright heretical, and so good luck in hell, and whilst the Orthodox Church agreed with the rest of the articles, Lutherans were doing them wrong. So good luck in hell, and whilst the Orthodox Church agreed with the rest of the articles, Lutherans were doing them wrong. At first, the Orthodox Church tried to push for cooperation with the Protestants, but it won't shock you to know that both sides were pretty firm in their beliefs. And despite more communication, by the end of the 16th century, both denominations had accepted that there would be no unity between them. And so the Orthodox reaction to that was the same as it was for Catholics. They were just heretics. And for the Protestants, the feeling was mutual. I hope you enjoyed this unity between them. And so the Orthodox reaction to that was the same as it was for Catholics. They were just heretics. And for the Protestants, the feeling was mutual. I hope you enjoyed this episode and thank you for watching.
Great episode. Sorry about all the technical difficulties. Not my best reaction. But great video again from History Matters. I'll be back with another one soon. See you guys next time.